appreciate it. How much is Westbrook to blame for the Clippers going 0-4 since they signed him?
You know what I'm not going to allow on this show? I'm not going to allow you guys to slander Russell Westbrook.
And
like
you guys.
Me.
No, okay,
Me.
yeah. You got it. I'm not going to allow you, Skip, to slander Russell Westbrook like it's all his fault. Let's get some things clear, because I did some number crunching and dug a little deep on this question, right?
Crunch.
So the game against Sacramento, they gave up 176 points, right?
Yes.
Russ had 17 points, 14 assists in that game. They lost by 1. But the team, the Sacramento Kings shot 58% from the field, 43 from 3. How was that Russ' fault, right? The next game against the Nuggets, he had 17 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 steals, only 2 turnovers. They lose that game. They gave up 51% field goal percentage to the Nuggets, 33 from 3. The T-Wolves shot 47% from the field. And the Warriors last night, they just ran into a buzzsaw last night, but they shot 36%. This is the Clippers now. They shot 36% from the field and 20 from 3. I just want to know, gave up 15 offensive rebounds. They had 16 team turnovers that led to 29 Warrior points. You can't point and say that that's Russell's fault. You got to say that that's a team fault. They got to figure out how they're going to play together. I'm just not sure if that starting lineup is the lineup that I would rock with. Maybe I bring Russ in off the bench like he was coming in and let him play against the 2 and let him have an opportunity to get downhill against the 2s and not play against the starters. So to me, that's the issue. It's not Russell Westbrook. And I think it is unfair for people to constantly say that wherever he goes, that he's not a winning player and it doesn't translate to winning. Well, look at the team sometimes. Look at the team. When he did have a good team surrounding him, they did go to the conference. They did go to the finals when he was younger. They did play in playoff games. And, yeah, did Kevin Durant eventually leave? Yes. But at the same time, I'm not going to allow you, Skip Bayless, to slander Russell Westbrook and say that it's completely his fault, because it's not. It's not his fault. It's a team issue. Now, has he been part of it? Because he does have 17 turnovers in those 4 games. So is he part of it? Yes. But is he the main reason? Hell no.
Well, go ahead. You got on your Undertaker black. Go ahead and bury him.
You gonna let me?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you.
Poor Eddie House has fallen into the same trap that LeBron James fell into, that Anthony Davis fell into, the Russ trap. They finally escaped the trap. I don't know how. Jeannie finally said, I will give up my 2027 first-round pick unprotected. I'll just give it up. I'll give it to Utah if you will please take him off our hands. Eddie, I get it. Everybody falls into the trap of he's a slam dunk first ballot Hall of Famer. He is more trouble than he's worth. He has loser intangibles, and he always had. He is the greatest bad basketball player I've ever seen. He has the worst hands of any point guard in the history of basketball, and I think I'll go to high school basketball level. I've never seen anything like it. Shannon Sharp will attest. He couldn't wait to get out from under Russell Westbrook, or Russell Westbrick, as I call him. And yet Paul George had one great year alongside Russ in Oklahoma City, and he campaigned for his Clippers to go get Russ. We need a floor general. A floor general? You need a court jester? That's what he is. He's not a floor general. And all of a sudden, the first game, the great shootout, 176-175 against Sacramento, Russ is on the floor. They got a 14-point lead with 4 minutes to go at home, and they blow it. They have a 6-point lead in the first overtime at home, and they blow it. And then the Denver game you talked about, they roared back in the fourth quarter from 9 down at Denver because Russ was on the end of the bench. He probably should have come back in overtime because they hit the wall, and they missed all 5 of their shots in overtime. But again, Russ is more the problem than the solution because he's a human cloud. He just hangs over the team. He's contagious bad. And Eddie, if you watched last night, he's a horrendous. He is the single worst three-point shooter in all of basketball, and it ain't even close.
You knew that.
So last night, Steve Kerr went to the lengths of just saying, Draymond, You got him, but you don't got him. Don't even guard him. Go stand in the middle of the lane so that you'll be in rebound position, but just ignore him. Dare him to shoot threes or jump shots. And he misses all 7 outside the paint. He went 0 for 5 from 3, and it was an embarrassment. And you can't tell me that over time it doesn't go contagious bad into the psyches of the people playing with him. I'm sorry. He was a nightmare last night, and they were a nightmare in the second half. And it's not all, I can't do stats like you say, it's not all his fault, but his presence is why all of a sudden they're 0-4 with Russ.
But you
0-4.
You do realize that Kawhi wasn't playing defense before Russ got there.
He wasn't. Although they had won 10 out of 14 games going to the All-Star break. And by the way, my final stat on Russ is he has now started over his last 14 games that he started for any NBA team, he's 0-14, or his team is.
Right.
And it has something to do with Russ's presence. Go ahead.
Skip, Russ isn't the only one not playing defense.
No, I got it.
But Russ,
you're right.
But at this point in time in his career, Eddie, I think you'll agree with this. Russ knows that at this point of his career, he's never going to get credit when they win. He's going to get all the blame when they lose. That's where he is now in his career. He's been on 5 teams in 5 years, and everybody, they couldn't wait to get him. They couldn't wait to get rid of him.
That is correct.
That's where we are, Eddie. That's where we are right now with Russ. But when you look at this, I agree, and I told Skip, I'm like, why would you upset the chemistry that you had with Terrence Mann, with how well he was playing in the starting lineup, to insert Russ, who had been coming off the bench for the better part of 50-plus games, and y'all got no chemistry with him? I understand Paul George says, well, I had my best year. Well, I couldn't tell last night. You were 3 of 15 from the floor and 1 of 8 from 3. And until y'all start playing some defense, because you said they had 14, 12-point leads, well, if you play some defense, you can keep a 12, 14-point lead, which you guys don't play anymore.
All right, fair point. Go ahead, Eddie.
And the 6-point lead they had in overtime, like you said, and they blew that. And let's not forget, they had Kawhi Leonard, they got Paul George, right? And we all was saying when they came together, I don't know if it's a better two-man defensive backcourt or front court and small forward and shooting guard ever. This is the best one in the league. And they're losing games by not playing defense. And that's where they are supposedly hanging their hat at, and they're not getting it done. So, again, we could talk all day at length about what the Clippers' problems really are. It's not just Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook in that starting lineup, it is a problem to me, though. There is no spacing out there.
Final quick point on this. Our man Chris Haynes last night on TNT reported that he had talked to Russ just before the game, and Russ said he still believes he should win Sixth Man of the Year, even though he's now starting for the Clippers because of all the good work he did for your Lakers. You have a new teammate named Norman Powell, who I think was starting to edge ahead in Sixth Man of the Year. He had a horrible game last night, but how's Norman Powell going to take it if Russ is campaigning for Sixth Man of the Year? Here we go again.
Well, it don't matter. Neither one of them are getting it, man. That award is going to Malcolm Brogdon.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, you should know.
But you know what, Eddie? I think Ty Lue's gonna tell Russ, when they play off like that, take 2 dribbles and get to the free throw line and pull up and shoot the shot. Don't stand around out there dribbling the ball. They back in the paint. They at the check line, and you out there dribbling the ball at the 3-point line. Take 2-3 dribbles and get to the free throw line and pull up.
You know what else you could do?
What?
You know what else you could do if you're a basketball player? Not saying that he's not, but when they sagging off you like that, go swing it and go set a pick. There'll be no help on the pick. You go set the pick, the dude's all the way in the lane. You just pass it, go set a pick. He's going to come off clean for an easy mid-range jump shot.
Good point.
I love the discussion. Eddie House, 11-year NBA vet, champion with the Boston Celtics back in 2008. Thanks for your time. Have a great weekend,
yes,
Eddie.
You do. He's our
Take care, guys.
All right.
All right, Eddie.
You're done. We're stopping. We're moving on to the NFL, the draft, guys. Did the Cowboys just reveal they're drafting a quarterback?
Oh, my goodness.
You can fight over that one in just a moment.